Hi, my name's Ian and welcome to the channel. If you've not been here before, and if you have been here before, then welcome back. So in this video we're going to give Dick a bit of a clean because we've been away for about 7 or 8 nights up in Yorkshire and he's got a bit dirty, so it's time to give him a bit of a scrub inside and out. So the first job we're going to do is we're going to give Dick a bit of a sweeping out first, so we'll get the dirt and debris off of the lino floor before we sort of start cleaning up everything else. One thing I want to make sure that I do is get all the cupboard doors open as well, because it's amazing how much dirt and debris actually catches in behind the doors. And also give the cupboards a bit of a sweep out as well. We've had shoes in this cupboard, so obviously there's muck and stuff inside there as well. So that's the initial sweep out of the lino done. He's going to get a vacuum in a bit, and also the floor will also be mopped or cleaned with a damp cloth. Next job I'm going to do is wipe down all the surfaces, so all the cupboards, all the handles, etc. will all get cleaned down with some hot soapy water with a cloth, and then dried off with an old tea towel. Not to spill your water all the way down the front of the unit. Also doing this as well now, it's getting to the point where we might not use the van anymore this year. I'm not quite sure yet, so we might get the odd trip away, but basically it's the end of October I'm filming this, and I'm going to be sawing the vehicle, which in the UK means taking the vehicle off the road. So I'm not going to have to pay any road tax for it until I want to use it again. So basically your road tax, you pay that on a 12 monthly basis, but you can start and stop it as much as you like, but obviously for whole months. So I'm going to take the van off the road at the end of October and sawn it then, so basically for the month of November, maybe December, and then until I want to come and use it again, it'll be off the road, so it's not costing me any money. In the UK at the moment, the road tax is £275 per year, which works out to about £22 a month. But by taking it off the road, if I'm not going to be using it, there's no point in spending £22 a month when I can spend the £22 on something else instead. So if you have got a vehicle you don't use very often, you know, whether it's a camper van or whether it's like a classic car or a car you just use in the summertime, why go taxing it when you're not going to be using it? Right, start cleaning the other side of the van now. On the things I'm not going to bore you with cleaning all units. Another little job we're going to be doing is just giving the fridge a clean out. I've actually taken all of the shelves and everything, and the things that go in the doors out. So they've gone in the kitchen and all been cleaned up now, and actually they're ready to go back in the van. But we'll give the fridge a bit of a wipe out just to remove any dirt and debris. Right, that's all the cupboards all wiped down now. I've also wiped the skylights down as well in the main vehicle. I've got 2 in here, and then I've got one in the bathroom, which I'm going to be doing shortly. Which is the next job to do, is to give that a clean out, which is my least favourite job of cleaning the van out. Actually, it's not too bad actually, because we sort of cleaned as we went along while we were away in it, but there's a bit of muck in there as well. And then obviously got to clean the toilet and just generally give everything a bit of a wipe down, sink and the tap, etc. As part of this video, I'm also winterising the van at the same time. So the underslung water tank has been the tap has been opened, and that's fully drained itself out, and I've also as well opened the taps up as well on here, and also opened the tap up. Basically the tap is fully open in the bathroom area as well. And the other thing I've done as well, because I've got the Truma 4E water heater, I don't know how let's get the other. No, that's the box. Just down where my finger is down here, I've got a tap that basically that's in the closed position, so when the water tank's full that stays closed, but then to drain the whole system out that gets flipped up, and I did that the other day. So basically this whole water tank down here, that's now completely and utterly empty of water, and by opening the taps up that sort of takes out all the sort of trapped air etc that might be in there as well. So what I'm going to do now, before I carry on doing any more cleaning, is I'm going to turn the tap to there. This tap obviously is already open. I'm going to open up the toilet, and then I'm going to switch on the water pump, which is this one here. You'll be able to hear that pump going, and basically it's just drawing out any excess water that might still be left in the system. Don't let it to run for too long because I don't want to burn the pump out, but basically I'm just going to make sure there's nothing in the way of any water coming out of the system at all, which it's not. Basically if the toilet one was, that would come out of there, so I'm pressing the button on the toilet and there's nothing coming out at all. So basically I've got no more water left in the system. As we're coming into the winter period now, it's very important that you do drain your water system off, because there is a risk of it freezing within the actual, like your hot water tank still full of water. If you get that freezing, I'd had it some years ago with a Caravan, and I was very, very lucky in the fact that it's actually got an overflow tube, and the water froze inside the tank and thankfully ran up the overflow and didn't damage the tank itself. But then also, when I had in the Caravan that it was in, I had left the water in the toilet system. It was a separate tank for the cassette toilet, and I forgot about that, and basically that expanded and broke the whole toilet, so we had to replace it. So yeah, word of warning, make sure you drain your system down properly before the winter comes. For cleaning the toilet and all the plastics inside here, I don't ever use anything more than soapy water. I think there are some things on the market that you can get. If you go to your local caravan dealership or motorhome dealership, they've probably got products that you can use on the plastics. But as I said, I only ever use soap and water, like washing up liquid type stuff. But don't ever be tempted to use anything like bleach or anything like that on these things, because you can quite seriously damage them. Next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to hoover out all of my cupboards, because obviously after you're having stuff in there, you get obviously some bits of dirt, debris, hairs, dust, etc. in there. So I'll be doing that one shortly. Obviously the lights in here, we've had bottles and that type of thing in there as well. So again, all the cupboards, just give them a quick hoover out. One thing I've always done with campervan or caravan fridges through the winter time, or even after being away for a while, is I never shut the fridge door completely. Now on caravans, and a lot of the three-way fridges you get with those, you get like a little flip out switch thing that you can keep the door slightly ajar, but on this compressor fridge I've got, it hasn't got that. So I've just got a bit of wire that literally I've just wrapped it around the vent, wrapped it around the door, and it just keeps the door, I don't know, about 50mm open, something like that, and it'll allow any residual moisture in there to come out. And also then through the winter, if you get condensation in the van because it's heating up and cooling down with the temperatures and that, it just stops any build-up that might take place, and then obviously prevent any potential mould. Plus, for you who may be interested, who have watched the video that I did on this table, well, all I'm going to say is what a game changer. So we've just been away for about 8 nights up in Yorkshire, and it was so multifunctional is not the word for it. So obviously I would sit there in the evenings on my laptop doing that with it, working away on that, editing videos, etc. And then if we were preparing food, or we just wanted an extra table for sitting stuff on, it just worked fantastically for that as well. Like when you're drying up as well, and you've obviously got too much stuff that you've needed to wash up and you've got not enough drying space, then again, just once the stuff's dried, just put it on there as well. But I must say, every day that table got used for many different functions, and it was worth every penny and all the effort and that I put into making it in the first place. So yeah, if you've got a van and you've got room to put an extra table in, then do so, because it's absolutely brilliant. That's now the main habitation area now completed. I've got the cab still to do yet, but I'll do that separately off camera. But yeah, Dick's looking a lot cleaner than what he was earlier on. All nice and spick and span. And as mentioned earlier, with winterising, the taps will stay open. They're in the half and half position, so basically the hot and cold side, so it's in between the two. So any residual water that's left in there, because the air in there, it'll help drain it out through the outlet. Right, the next job we're going to be doing is going to clean out Dick's back end because he's a bit messy. Right, Dick's bowels now emptied, we can give him a bit of a wipe out, make him nice and clean, and then stick everything back in the places that it should go in, because obviously things do get put back in the wrong places when you're out about on site. I think while I've got them out, I'll give these ramps a bit of a clean as well. So these ramps are big and heavy, and we were using the ones just down here. We've got two of those. I did find in certain situations that they just weren't enough to get us up high enough on some of the sites we go onto. There's quite a few slopes and stuff like that you've got to try and level onto, and I found these bigger ones just do the trick. As I said, they are rather large. With these ramps you do have 4 parking positions, so you've got obviously just a low one, next one up, the next one up, and then this next one up really gets you really high in the air. But most of the time I end up probably on either the second or the third one to get to where we need to be, but that's been the odd occasion where I did have to get up onto the 4th one. Let the repacking of Dick's backside commence. One job I quite often like to do at the end of the season is to actually back flush the waste tank. So at the moment I've connected a hose pipe to it, so I'm actually putting water into the waste tank, and I'm going to sort of get it to about 3/4 full and then drain it all back out again. Now I've put some water in it, just letting it all back out again now, so hopefully it's going to take out any residual rubbish, food waste, etc. that might be lurking in the tank.